Hey everybody, welcome to another video review by cigarfellas.com. My name is Brent, and today we are going to be reviewing the PIO Resurrection. This is an Ecuadorian Maduro wrapper. It is box pressed. These are actually made, if I'm not mistaken, in Miami, and we were lucky enough to catch up with the guys at PIO and ask them for a few samples to do some reviews on. They did send me a couple. I smoked one the other night on my ride home from work. In my car, I have a tendency to do that to kind of sort of get to know the cigar a little bit better before I jump right into a review. It's not a bad cigar from a standpoint of, hey, I'm just going to enjoy the cigar. I'm not going to worry about totally focusing on the review itself. Construction's pretty good. The cap on this one is a little rough. Now, I don't know if that's because of shipping or anything like that, but all in all, I believe the other one was actually really quite nice. You can see there's just a little bit of unevenness on this side of the cap. I don't know how well you can see that, but other than that, the construction as well. It appears to have some chocolatey kind of notes, a little bit of light spices, but all in all, great size too. I do enjoy both large and medium ring gauge cigars, and this one's kind of right up my alley for my mediums. The square box press on it is actually not even square; it's kind of oval, which is kind of nice. It makes for a nice little set, rest if you happen to take this out golfing or something. It won't roll off the golf cart, at least as long as there's not a lot of wind. Outside of that, no real flavors outside of the wrapper when I moisten it up. I think this is going to be a good one. So let's get to cutting this thing up and see about firing it up. We're going to go ahead and use the my Cigar zebra wood. I'm trying to experience with other cutters more than just my Cigar scissors, and let's go ahead and cut that off there. Pre-draw is just perfect. Very smooth, almost like a straw with nothing in it, which, in my opinion, isn't necessarily a bad draw. Unfortunately, what that does mean for me is that I'm going to have to take a little bit more time smoking this, as when you get a draw like that, you could burn through a cigar like this very quickly. And I do have a tendency to burn through my cigars fast. So with this one, unlike the last one that I lit with a match, I'm going to actually toast the foot with a match first. I want to kind of bring out some of those chocolatey notes, and hopefully this little bit of charring will actually help that. So I'm not going to get too carried away. I just want to kind of give it a little bit of char. Nothing that's going to set it on fire, hopefully. The aroma is really nice on that. The aroma is sweet. It's kind of interesting. I expected more of a chocolatey, like a dark chocolate or like a bitter chocolate, and that's not what I'm getting. Nice little sip on that. Didn't draw it in too tight, remember, or too hard. Remember I was saying that, you know, the draw on this is so smooth that it's like a pipe. You just want to kind of sip it, just to kind of get that through. My initial retrohale was full of spices, just incredible amounts of spices, all kinds of different ones. Obviously I haven't smoked it enough to really discern. Picking up a few little notes of cedar, some definitely black pepper. Haven't come far enough into it yet to really experience whether or not it's going to release some cocoa, you know, or some grasses, things like that. This is a very full-bodied but smooth cigar. This is definitely one of those cigars that I could see myself smoking on a more permanent basis. That is really, really tasty so far. Retrohale just continues to be just throwing all kinds of flavors at me, just completely just stimulating my my senses. Very good aftertaste in my mouth. It's got that kind of peppery, like subtle pepper taste in my mouth, which I completely enjoy. The aroma has definitely brought back in some chocolate. I think I may be picking up just a tad of subtle coffee. This is actually really complex for a cigar that I wasn't anticipating that kind of complexity from. So you know, we've got some nice cedar notes, a little bit of coffee in there, some pepper, some just very smooth, well blended tobacco. This tobacco is superiorly blended, and I have to admit, I am definitely going to get back in touch with PIO and talk to them some more about some of their other lines that they carry, and see if we can't do a few more reviews, because if they're anything like what I've started to taste in this, I can tell that we're going to have quite a relationship between each other. So let me go ahead and smoke a little bit more of this as usual, and I'll get back to you when we're about halfway through. Alright, so here we are. We're about halfway through. Surprisingly, I went through this a little quicker than I anticipated. I've probably been smoking this now for, since our last time, about 20 minutes. And it's a draw. Like I said, I fight with it all the time, and we all have our little things, where, we're, wait a minute in between puffs, things like that. It's tough sometimes for me, but flavor is still right where it should be. Spices are getting a little heavier, but still good. The retrohale's fine. Nothing the matter with this PIO cigar. The band slid off nice, which is always a plus for me, and I know that has a little bit to do with my humidor. I do keep my cigars at right around 63% relative humidity. Me personally, I feel they burn better for me at that humidity. I generally don't run into big draw issues with a more moist cigar, and I don't like dealing with draw issues. So outside of that, just very very full-bodied, great tasting smoke. Definitely one that I would recommend for people that are looking for complex tastes. You know, good full flavor, but yet not so strong that it's a turnoff. You know, I know there's a lot of people out there that like more of a Connecticut or a natural wrapper. Me, I have a tendency to follow more Maduros. Excuse me. And for a Maduro lover, this is a great stick. I would highly recommend checking these guys out. From what I've read on them, there's only about, I think, somewhere around 100 B&Ms, brick and mortars, that actually carry this cigar in stock. Outside of that, there are some places online you can pick them up. If you just go out and Google PIO cigars, you'll find some places that do sell them online. Outside of that, I definitely appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Check us out on the web at www.cigarfellas.com. You can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/cigarfellas. And you can always follow what I have to say on Twitter at cigarfellas. Till next time, you guys keep it easy. Take care.